Our first speaker, Deanna Ryder. No turkey in Turkey. No turkey in Turkey, Deanna Ryder.
I was 24 years old. I had just finished my first year teaching science. And I scrounged together every penny I had to go backpacking in Europe. I wanted to see it all. The majestic mountains, the detailed architecture, and the hot, rugged bodies on all those foreign men. I was 24 after all. I thought that since vacationing in Europe was so great, then teaching overseas would be even better. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests, I was so wrong. You see, if work and vacation were synonyms, we might be able to get rid of one of them from the English language. And with it, dozens of other words and phrases like stress, anxiety, depression, Zoloft, carpal tunnel, going postal, I hate Mondays, thank God it's Friday, and it's 5 o'clock somewhere. But not realizing any of this, I applied for a Fulbright teacher exchange position. 6 months later, I got a phone call. Congratulations, Deanna, you've been accepted to teach in. My mind zoomed through my top choices. Greece, Spain, Italy, places with great nightlife, beautiful beaches, beautiful men. You've been accepted to teach in Turkey. Turkey? I looked at the class map of the world at the front of my classroom to see that Turkey bordered Bulgaria, Syria, Iran, and Iraq. These were places I'd never entertained traveling to or living here, ever. My mind zoomed through lots of questions, like, is it safe? Do they speak English? And most importantly, do they serve beer? But instead of asking any of these questions, I surprised myself with the words that cannonballed from my mouth. I'll take it. Clearly, I did not realize what I was getting myself into. And I think that's exactly what I wanted. A little excitement and adventure. What more could a 24-year-old want? Part of me asked. And another part of me answered, great nightlife, beautiful beaches, beautiful men. But clearly that part of me was not negotiating this deal. But heck, what was a year, really? Well, I soon found out that it was 10 months, 3 weeks, 4 days, 6 hours, and 23 seconds too long. I miss my friends and my family, and all those little things we grow accustomed to in America, like SpaghettiOs, MTV, and toilets. Do you know that in Turkey you have to squat over a hole? Well, I didn't! That was a minor detail of my year. What I really had to focus on was teaching science in Turkey. Now, of course, there was the language barrier, but worse than that was the disciplinary system. You see, in Turkey it was completely different. And, of course, the Turkish teachers gave me plenty of advice on how to handle my students. Send them to the principal. Fail them. And my favorite piece of advice, hit them. Now, before you go judging me, raise your hand if you have ever spent any time in a room full of teenagers. Okay, then some of you might be able to understand that as a middle school teacher, I have had a moment or two of weakness where I have contemplated a teeny, tiny little bit of child abuse. In Turkey, not only was I given permission, but I was encouraged to do it. So I thought, let's give it a whirl. And the following Monday morning, little Mustafa pushed me too far. I swatted him on the back of the head. And guess what he did? He laughed! Yes! And so did the 34 other students. Things went from bad to worse. But I made the best of it by counting down the days until I went home. A countdown chart that I began at Thanksgiving, which, by the way, newsflash to me, they don't celebrate Turkey Day in, of all places, Turkey. I mean, come on. I think we can all agree, even the vegetarians, that turkey is delicious. Naturally, I just assumed that all countries grow and raise and love turkeys, especially a country like Turkey. But no, there is no turkey in, say it with me, Turkey. And that was a big disappointment to me because I love Turkey. I spent the entire flight from Minneapolis to Istanbul fantasizing about all of the endless possibilities in store for me that year. Roasted turkey, stuffed turkey, Thai turkey teriyaki, turkey casserole, turkey pot pie. I wanted it all, but I got none. No turkey. And along with not finding any turkey in Turkey, you also won't find any Lifetime Fitness or Anytime Fitness centers in Istanbul. But heck, with all of those squatting toilets, your workout's done for you. Despite the many differences in Turkey, I eventually learned to fall in love with the country and the amazing people who live there. And I learned that you've got to find the extraordinary in every moment, even if it's not exactly how you planned it to be. And when you're having a hard time appreciating anything, then it's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy a proper place to squat. Mr. Toastmaster.
And we'll observe 1 minute of silence.